Welcome back to Beers Up Sports Talk. Sebo in the house, Debo in the house. Special start to the NFL season, starting a couple of days early. We're going to get all the teams done before the games kick off.
Woo!
But let's figure out the beers first. D, what you got?
Man, I was out and about today. I got this Mighty Squirrel Brewing Company. It's a sour face blackberry. Pretty good, that color. And I got it in my Bubba Gump cup.
The fancy glass you got there, kid. All right. And I got Wrench. First time having it. There it is. Okay. Industrial Arts Brewing Company. Mm-hmm. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I already had a sip. Freaking incredible. Look at that.
Yeah, I had also,
shout out to Mass Landing for the glass. Shout out to Mass Landing Brewing Company for the hat.
There you go.
I had to get the hook.
I had a can of that a couple weeks ago. Really good.
So good. All right. We got 4 days to the NFL season.
Woo.
We got 4 podcasts coming at you.
4.
We're going to break up the NFL. We're going to start tonight with the AFC East, the AFC North. We're going to come back at you tomorrow with the South and the West, and then we're going to hit the NFC. All right? So stick with us, and let's start right at the top. Let's dive into the AFC East. My squad, the Buffalo Bills. D, what you got?
Well, they're sitting here at what, 9? The over-under is 9 wins.
Over-under is 9 wins.
Over-under is 9 wins. They finished. We had this conversation one of these last couple podcasts ago, or maybe at the beginning of our whole podcast session. How many wins did they finish with?
Chalkboard, Doc. It was 9.5. I believe it was 9.5 when we did this a long time ago. I can't recall, but I feel like it was 9.5.
They finished with what? 10 wins last year?
I don't know, but that sounds
okay. Good. Way to support that team. So they lost Frank Gore, man. What are they going to do? Oh wait, I'm sorry. They gained Stephon Diggs. They gained an explosive rookie in Zach Moss. I think will fill in perfectly for Gore around the end zone. Man, this defense is legit. They just signed Trey White. Got a nice contract. I mean, this dude.
Feed me, D. Keep feeding me.
Oh, I love it, man. This team's gonna be hard to beat in that AFC East. But they do have a tough schedule. All of the AFC East has a tough schedule. They're playing the NFC West and the AFC West, which means, they got Kansas City. They got San Francisco, Seattle. It's a tough route. I'll tell you what, they're going to win 5 games in the division. They're going to split with the Patriots. They're going to beat Miami and the Jets 2 each time.
I agree.
Which means all they have to do is play 500 ball for 10 games to get to the over. They're going over. It seems easy to me. I don't see how they don't win this division. The player to watch is Josh Allen. Is he going to take that next step? Like you can see how much he cares. Like he's exciting. Everyone, I'm on Bill's Twitter, even though I'm a Packers fan, and man, so many people talk about how bad they don't like or how much they don't like Josh Allen. I'm not talking about Bills people, but fans of other teams just come at the Bills Mafia for Josh Allen. He's the best quarterback in that division.
Wow.
They're going over.
I'll say this. He is easily the most important person, most important player in that division. How he goes is how that division will go. Because you're right. They got the running backs. They got the wide receivers. They got the defense. Trey White's got the fresh new contract. They have all of the pieces there sitting in front of them. And now they have a third-year quarterback who has progressed in each of the first 2 years. He does have the things that he doesn't like to check down. He has a cannon of an arm that he probably unleashes far too often sometimes. But the guy can ball. And if he takes the step forward, they're going to be hard to beat. I'm going over. I mean, you already know. What you got for me, D? Tell me you're going winter hat.
I mean, there is no we're going Bills. I'm wearing this the rest of the podcast. I mean, we're taking this out.
I mean, they are the best constructed team in that division, and we're going to get to the Patriots in a little bit, and they're still going to be a good team, but they're not as good as the Bills right now. I don't care. Doesn't matter.
100%.
So we're both going over. All right, next up, Miami Dolphins. The over-under 6.5.
I don't know what to do with this team.
I don't think Brian Flores knows what to do either. So,
When's Tua going to start? You know, that right now it looks like Fitzpatrick is still going to be the starter because they don't want to throw Tua out there right away. I mean, they got Jordan Howard. They picked up Matt Breida. Pretty good running backs. But are they going to stay healthy for a 16-game season?
Yeah.
Maybe they're hoping, when Jordan goes out, Breida will come in. But, man, then they got 2 wide receivers that broke out last year. Parker finally is that number one. Well, on that team, he's playing as a number one. Preston Williams, pretty good.
Sure. You don't have to try too hard.
Isn't great. Like, I'm trying. I think they have a bright future.
Sure.
But I'm not. I don't think they're going over. They're going to go under. I'm interested to watch Springfield's Christian Wilkins this year again, just like I did last year. But he still needs to step up. He had an okay year. But
I'll say this: my first instinct was to have them over. But when you talk about that schedule, they're not going over. They're not winning 7 games. They're not going 7-9. It ain't happening. Here's the thing. You're right. When is Tua going to start? Fitz is going to come out hot first game of the season. People are going to get excited, and then he's going to throw 100 interceptions. Happens every year. Devontae Parker's a good wide receiver. He's not good when the team is bad. They don't have a lot. There's not a lot there. They're building, and I actually really like Brian Flores as a head coach, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And Tua's not going to be the one that takes him to the promised land this year, probably not next year. They need to find a lot of pieces.
I mean, I think we're going to get into this where we're going to talk a lot about offense, I feel like. And I like Preston Williams. I like Gesicki as their tight end. But yeah, again, Parker, he had one good year, and he was supposed to be a number one receiver.
I feel like we've been talking about him for a couple of years now. Like,
yeah.
When are you going to break? But again, to be fair, it's hard to break out on a crappy team. It's hard to break out when Fitz is going to find half the season he's going to be throwing it to the other team. So, like, again, I think he's going to be good. Tua's going to be good. It's just not going to be this year. It's probably not going to be next year. And we both feel they're going under. So let's move on. Let's move on. The New England Patriots. The over-under number is 9. Take it away, D.
I mean, I just said that I thought Miami was tough to figure out, but I think this is probably the hardest team to figure out. 9 wins seems really hard to get. They lost Brady. They lost 8 other players. They lost Patrick Chung to opting out. They lost Hightower.
A lot of dudes opted out on that team.
Yeah, I mean, Cam, he's just recently named the starter. So what we're going to find out is, was it Brady or Belichick? We're going to find out how good Belichick can coach. I mean, they have Edelman. They let Mohamed Sanu go. They're going with their number 2 is N'Keal Harry.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is going to keep them in games because, I mean, their CBs are just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we know about New England is that their defense takes time because Belichick is coaching throughout the entire season. They always end as a world-class defense, but they start the year as a work in progress. And what saved them over the last couple of years is that they've always had Tom Brady. So as that defense kind of sputters out of the gate, you got Tom Brady that you can kind of lean on and those offensive weapons that you can lean on. And I don't know that that's there. I don't think that Cam Newton's going to be a bad quarterback, but he's not going to be as good as Tom Brady. He's going to turn the ball over more than Tom Brady. That's going to happen. Right. And I think what could happen, I don't know if it's going to happen, what could happen is that players for the first time in New England's last 20 years could start pressing a little bit, trying to do too much. And again, I'm going to jump the gun here. I'm going to say they're going to go over because I don't want to say push because I think they go 9-7. That's what I think. I think they're, again, if they take 4 wins or 5 wins from the division, they only got to get 4 more wins to get to 9-7. I think they're going to go to 9-7, but I can't push. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing. I think they start with Miami, home, but then they go to Seattle, Las Vegas, whatever. We got Kansas City, Denver, San Francisco, Buffalo. That's probably 3 losses. I don't know. I think that it's all going to be if Belichick can get Cam to understand what he wants out of him, and if they can get one of the running backs hot, because I don't think there's enough wide receiving help on that team to help score more points than other teams. I think the defense can help them. I don't know. I worry about it. I'm actually going under, and it's actually because I think Cam's going to get replaced. I think he's going to be fine, but he's not going to do what Belichick.
It's a weird situation, right? Because the minute that Cam got named the starter and named a captain, people were like, "We're back. New England's back. We never left." Blah blah. This guy's on a 1-year deal.
Yep.
He's got to prove it to get. I'm sure this guy wants to play quarterback for a few more seasons. So. On one end, you could say he's going to try really hard to do what he needs to do. But at the other point, he's going to be trying to do his thing. He's going to be trying to beat Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And because he wants to get that bag, which rightfully so he should be trying to do. And again, let's be clear. New England wins a lot. They don't pay a lot. Edelman's been one of the best receivers, in the last 5 to 7 years, and he gets paid crap. So you can play for that bag, but you got to play in Belichick's system. It's just going to be an interesting rub. I agree with you. You're going over, or no, you're going under. I'm going under. I'm going over, but only because I think it's a push. I think they go 9-7, and I don't know. I don't want to do that. I don't want to say push, even though I could. All right, let's get to the laughable New York Jets. Did I say that? Did I say that right? Is that?
No, you said it right. I mean,
I'm gonna let you go. Over under 7. Go for it, babe.
Head coach and star running back already feuding. They lost their probably best linebacker, C.J. Mosley, to opting out.
After he missed all of last season, pretty much.
We don't know how good Sam Darnold is.
Right.
Yet. I mean, he lost most of the beginning of the season to mono. I mean, and I don't think we're going to find out how good he is this year because they lost Robbie Anderson. Josh Doxson opted out as well.
And Yewu is –
and Yewu is gone. They literally have Jamison Crowder, and a bunch of I don't know what. I worry about this team. They're not going over 7 wins. They're going to go to maybe they'll get to 5. I hope. I mean, I could see Le'Veon being gone by trade deadline, and that's.
I'm gonna say this. I blame the Jets front office for hiring Adam Gase. He is not good.
He's not the best. No.
And if you watch anything that he did in Miami, which the New York Jets had a front row seat because they're in the division.
Yep.
You would never hire that man. He's not good. He's out here, in my opinion, trying to be Belichick without the Belichick clout. He's trying to rub players the wrong way to motivate them, but all they do is leave. I mean, Adams is gone because of him. A world-class safety, anchoring your defense, basically said, get me the hell out of here. Mosley hasn't barely played in the last 2 years. He won't play this year. He barely played last year because he was hurt.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell and him are not getting along, but Bell's sticking around because he wants the bag, and I get it.
Right. Yeah, we all want money.
And I think Darnold's going to be a good QB, but he's not going to be able to be a good QB until they get a coach in there that can actually coach. And Gase, I don't know what the allure is with him, but he's a clown. He's a full-on clown. And, I feel bad for the Jets because they were supposed to be halfway decent last year. And through almost 3/4 of that first game against the Bills, they were winning because the Bills were turning it over. And the Bills figured it out, and they won the game. And you just see, Jesus, why did they even hire? I mean, I'm happy they did because as long as Gase is the coach, we're going to keep winning. We're going to keep beating them. But, he's no good. He's no good. And they got a fresh quarterback who I think is pretty good, but we'll never know.
No, I think Sam Darnold will be good. He needs the help, and he, like you said, he needs a coach.
And again, you kind of meant Le'Veon Bell's a really good running back, not with a rookie quarterback in a rebuilding program. Nope. He took that money, and I respect it, but he's going to hold back the career of Sam Darnold because he's not going to try that hard once this season goes down. And who, like you said, who are they throwing it to?
Nobody.
You going under?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going under. All right. So now, division winner, division MVP. Who you got?
I'm going Bills.
Yeah.
And I think Josh Allen is going to be the best player in this division this year. I don't know why. It's more a gut call. I know we have Cam's there. Bell, but those are the old. It's the old guard. I think Josh Allen's going to turn up. I mean, I think Singletary is going to have a good year. I think that Diggs is going to have a good year, but it's going to be because of what Josh Allen can do.
And I agree. Bills division winner, Josh Allen, the MVP. The reason why is because if the Bills win the division, it's going to be because of Josh Allen's ascension to one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And I think he has the ability to get there. He's definitely not there yet. He's got to figure out a couple of things along the way. But the guy has heart. He's committed to doing whatever is necessary to win. And, yeah, I mean, if they win the division, it's going to be because he played out of his mind.
I agree.
All right. Let's turn our attention.
I lied. I'm not
too hot, right? Too hot.
It's hot, man. I'll next Bills game we go to, I'm bringing it with me, though.
All right. So let's move to the AFC North. All right, home to the Baltimore Ravens. We lived there. We lived close by. We were by the stadium a bunch. Let's start with them. Over under 11.5. That's a big number.
It's a huge number.
Tell me what you got.
The whole division I had a hard time with because I wanted to go over with all of them. Like, I really did. Like, I really did. The teams have tape of Lamar Jackson for a full season now. Ingram's a year older. They drafted J.K. Dobbins. But I'll tell you what, they're good. Until they're dethroned, they're the team to beat. And I'm going over. I think they're going to get to 12. I think that, and the thing is, I think Ingram is going to get hurt, but I think J.K. Dobbins is going to step up in the second half of the year, and I think he's going to replace him and help them get to that 12-win season.
I've got him under, but I've got him at 11.
Yeah,
but yes, it comes down to Lamar Jackson. Can he repeat? And they're so well coached, right? I think John Harbaugh is such a good coach. A couple years ago when they were in transition, people were like, is he going to stick around? Crazy to think that they would get rid of this guy. The defense is off the chains. Yeah, they got J.K. Dobbins. They got Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, who, if they finally strike gold on this in terms of getting a wide receiver, then they're going to be even tougher because the tight end, Mark Andrews, the tight end game is off the chains. Like, this is a team that, like, let's remember that what they did last year with Lamar, he wasn't throwing it a whole lot. But they got a couple more weapons now.
I mean, I'm still a little worried about the wide receiver game because, you know, they lost Hayden Hurst. You know, they have Willie Snead. Is he going to stay healthy? And then their third is Miles Boykin, who was a good rookie last year. And
but I think their offense is so dynamic that, again, you can have – I mean, one game it could be the running backs. One game it could be the tight ends. And, again, you're absolutely right, and I think we're going to say this a lot, if they stay healthy. That's going to be obviously that's always the deal with NFL teams, but with a team like with Baltimore with limited offensive weapons, if they stay healthy and Lamar has options, get out the way.
I mean, Hollywood, he put on like 15 pounds of muscle this year. He looks good. I can't wait to see this team.
This is a really good team.
It's a pretty
good team. And again, we could say this about every team if they stay healthy, but if their offensive weapons stay healthy and Lamar has options out of that read option, good God. Good God. All right, next up, the Cincinnati Bengals.
This is the team that I said.
This is your team.
I've been
surprised you're not putting the Cincinnati Bengal hat on right now. Like, where's your Bengal hat?
You know, I had a Peter Warrick jersey at one point.
The over-under is 5.5.
Yeah, you know, I've been saying this for a multitude of podcasts that I think the Bengals have the offensive talent to be pretty good, to get the 7-8 wins. I did some more research. They're not getting there. Like, you know, and it's not even because of the offense. I think Burrow will struggle early, and that will hurt them. I think by the end of the season, he figures it out. AJ Green, if he's not healthy, then they're really in trouble. I mean, he's been hurt the last 3 years, basically. I mean, he didn't finish 2 years ago. Last year, he was out the whole season. They get to 5, but they're not getting over 5.5. And I have absolutely no trust in the defense. So they're going to have to outscore teams. I mean,
they're not going to do that. And I took the under 2. They're a couple of years away. Joe Burrow, I think, is going to be an incredible quarterback. He showed in college that he can do the damn thing. An aging A.J. Green and a bunch of young guys is just not the way to do it. And again, in today's NFL, it almost sucks to be the number one. You get more money than everybody else, but if you're the first quarterback taken, you're going to a team that's lacking in weapons unless somebody trades up, right? Like you think about Pat Mahomes, and we're going to get to him tomorrow, but you think about him joining a team that already had weapons, right? Like they don't have anything. A.J. Green is really good in 2016.
Yeah.
But it's 2020. And Joe Mixon is good, but I don't even know about their offensive line. Like I'm just not convinced that this is a team that even if they get out to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter, that they're going to be able to hold on and win that game.
No, I agree. And we've talked about – I mean, I literally said this not even 2 teams ago. We talk a lot about offense. We don't talk enough about defense. They don't have much. They don't have what can keep a 17-0 lead.
And we were talking about this before we came on air. With no preseason, I think offenses are going to have the upper hand because they're going to have plays ready to go, and defenses are still going to be reacting. Yeah.
So, but I mean, but it's a rookie quarterback, so he doesn't know what the true speed.
Oh no, I think that's what I mean. Like I think their defense is going to struggle, and I'm more thinking about like when they go up against a good quarterback, who's going to go out there and start picking them up.
And I don't remember who they're starting against, but I mean, if their first 1 or 2 games are against a team like Baltimore, he's in trouble. There's no way he is going to be able to, stay with a Lamar Jackson and outscore them. So,
right. All right. Next up. So we're both going under. Next up, the Cleveland Browns. And I'm just going to say this. I feel like this team should be better.
Yes.
8.5 to over under D.
What do you got? The first thing I think is, can they be better than last year? Like
they got a
new coach. So they may open it up a more.
Basically, this was the guy that came in second, right? In their coaching search 2 years ago or whatever, I think, right? And they went with Freddie Kitchens, and that didn't work. So now they got Kevin Stefanski or whatever.
Yep. So you're talking. You got Baker Mayfield. You have OBJ. You
got your boy Nick Chubb. I know you're high on Chubb.
You got Austin Hooper. You have Njoku. Now you got
a lot of money for Hooper, right?
You got Chubb and Hunt. How good should this offense be? So last year, especially at the beginning of the year, Baker Mayfield was running around the backfield because they had no offensive line. If they get any offensive line, that team, I'm sorry, is going to be tough to stop. But
they should be.
They should be, right. Defense is good too. But you have to worry about Myles Garrett. You have to worry about Sheldon Richardson. They've always – not always.
You don't have to worry about Myles Garrett's bank account, though.
Sheldon Richardson's been in trouble a lot in his career.
Yep.
Myles Garrett tried to murder Mason Rudolph on the field.
He got paid.
And he got paid, so, whatever.
No, I'm with you. And I'm just looking up their schedule right now.
Everyone picked them to go to the playoffs last year after getting OBJ.
I don't see it.
They're not going to go – I can see them going under, and I can see them going over. I really am. I can't push 8.5. And I think in the end, how good is Pittsburgh going to be is where Cleveland's going to finish, and I have them going under.
I do too. I got them going under at 8.
And that's what I was thinking.
And again, this is a big year, right? Because I think everybody's going to give them a pass last year because they blame it on Freddie Kitchens, right? Yep. Everybody's decided that Freddie Kitchens wasn't the right guy, so they got rid of him.
Yep.
And now they got the guy that apparently is going to change everything. Another offensive guru coming from Minnesota. Great. Mayfield and OBJ got to show out.
Yep.
And you can add Chubb to that, but Mayfield and OBJ are the guys. They got Mayfield. They went out and got OBJ. They got offensive weapons. I'll be honest, I don't know about their offensive line. It probably is a work in progress. They got some guys on the defensive end that can play. I don't know. Maybe it's because I think the Browns are perpetual losers because they've been bad for most of my life. And that's me being selfish, but like I think 8-8 is about as good as they can go.
Right now, I think you're right until they can prove it. I mean, I'm more apt to go under when a team has really struggled.
Yeah.
And until it's like we just talked about, the Baltimore Ravens, they're the team to beat in this division until they're not. The Patriots were the team to beat in the division until they're not. Cleveland is not good until they are. And I'd rather go under.
If they can figure out an offense with OBJ and those two dynamic tight ends, and they can move the ball that way, then they got a real chance to show out. But I need to see it first. I need to see it.
I agree.
And finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I'll be honest, were a mess last year.
But almost made the playoffs.
Right. Which, shout out to Mike Tomlin, who I think is one of the best coaches in the NFL. Shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who tend to be one of the better organizations in the NFL. Over-under is 9.5. It's a big number.
It's a huge number.
Big number for a team that had Mason Rudolph and whoever the other quarterback was as their quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that in a second. I mean, you said it. This team is well coached because we saw that with Mason Rudolph and Delvin Hodges, Duck.
Hold on. They were running out these quarterbacks playing some like pee-wee football offenses, and you're right. Yeah. They almost made the playoffs.
When they went 8-8 with a chance to make the playoffs in the last game of the season. I mean, they had Jalen Samuels doing the Wildcat, doing the best he could do to do his, to get them there. So, I mean, the biggest question is the elbow of Big Ben going to make it to the season.
Yeah. What do you think?
Is that defense going to do what it did last year? Because that's what really put them in playoff contention.
P.J. Watt's an MVP candidate. That guy's a monster.
He is a wicked monster. But I think can he keep him in the can that defense keep him in all these games until Big Ben figures it out? Because you figure he's going to take a couple.
I don't think it's going to take that long. Big Ben's one of the best quarterbacks in our lifetime. Let's just say it.
But think about this: they get the Giants and Denver in the first 2 weeks.
2-0.
You would think so, right? They're definitely beating the Giants.
I'm not even worried about Big Ben because here's the thing. They went 8-8 with that mess of a quarterback situation last year.
Yep.
So they will go 2-0 with Big Ben or a mess of a quarterback situation. My big question marks are James Conner and Juju. Because those two guys 2 years ago were balling out. Last year, not balling out. And you can blame it on the quarterback. But those two guys, it's the reason they let Antonio Brown go. It's the reason they let Le'Veon Bell go. Because those guys were showing out.
Yeah.
And they didn't show out last year. And again, quarterback situation was murky at best. But now you got your Hall of Fame quarterback. So I don't want to hear it. And I believe that Ben's elbow is going to be okay. I believe he's one of the best quarterbacks in my lifetime. So if he's even at 85%, those guys need to show out.
So you ready for this the last 5 games of the season? The Washington football team
win.
Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, Indianapolis Colts, and the Cleveland Browns. They're going 4-1 in those games.
And plus 2 at the start. So you're 6-1.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I went under. Did I go under? So if I'm going under, it's at 9. I'm going under, it's at 9.
I'm going under. I think they're going to win 9 games. I said they're going to get hot at the end of the season, but it's not going to be enough to get the 10 wins to beat that over. So I'm going under at 9.
And again, and I'm sure they're playing the Patriots because I feel like they play the Patriots every year, but maybe not.
They are not playing the Patriots.
Wow. Again, Mike Tomlin coach team with their Hall of Fame quarterback, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. I don't want to go over 9.5, but 9-7 works. Again, it's going to come down to Connor and Juju.
Yep. And, that's the craziest part is they almost made the playoffs with Connor doing nothing, Juju doing nothing, having Hodges and Rudolph They had no offense. They won this with defense. Can the defense stay that hot? If they're not that hot, they're not going to do it.
Right. All right. Who's your division winner? Who's your division MVP? Who's your MVP then?
We're going Ravens and we're going Lamar. I mean, again, same thing. Till he's not like he's the most explosive player in that division, and I know you're probably gonna go out. I can't even think of who you're gonna think of. Maybe TJ Watt, but and if Pittsburgh makes the playoffs, it's probably because of that defense and TJ Watt. But Lamar
I've got the Ravens.
Yep.
And I've got Lamar Jackson. But TJ Watt, what I wrote down when I did my research on Pittsburgh is TJ Watt an MVP candidate? And the reality is he pretty much was last year. And if he duplicates that performance with an offense that can actually move the ball, if they're playing from the lead instead of behind, good God. Because that man was a nightmare, and they were losing every game and having to and every game was tight. If they're up 21-7 and they know you're going to pass, sorry.
I mean,
but I'm going Lamar. I mean, he's the most dynamic player in the league in the division, and for the Ravens to win, he needs to be dynamic.
Agreed. I think what we talk about, you and I, we're football fans, but we also understand. Personally, I think we both understand the game. Like, everyone wants offense, right? But there are certain players that are just the J.J. Watt couple years, Troy Polamalu, that should be winning. It's a quarterback league. If the quarterback's good, they're winning the MVP. T.J. Watt should have been top 2 last year, and he just wasn't. The defense needs more respect, especially nowadays, because you can't do anything. You can't hit a quarterback too high. You can't hit him too low.
Which is why, to your point, for the Cleveland Browns, what Myles Garrett decides to do next year, if he can stay healthy, is going to be a big part of their success. Because if he's a monster, they could win a couple. These defensive guys, especially these guys on the defensive line, can win games if they just go off.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. AFC East, AFC North. Last call presented by Progression Brewery. D, what you got, man?
My last call, man. So a couple pods ago, I came out here and said, Bruins will not lose to any team the rest of this playoffs. Then we came out our last pod and said, Celtics are up 2-0. Series is pretty much over. It is now 2-2.
Yeah.
Is bust bad luck? I'm starting to feel like it is, man.
No.
That shot in the corner, that pass was ridiculous over Taco Fall. Listen, guys, Celtics we said it from the beginning. The Raptors and Celtics series is going to be a fight to the end. I still thought, they're still going to win it.
Yeah.
I thought they would win it. Once they went up 2-0 and they had 0.5 seconds, it was going to be a sweep. Now we're looking at probably 6 or 7 games.
It's your last call, so I'm not getting into it. All I'll say is you also said that this was going to be a tough challenge from the beginning. And even if we went up 3-0, I'm not pretending in a neutral court tournament that Toronto's going away just because they're down 3-0.
No, I think it was
that's
over.
A team that team's different than the Bucks, who are going to get smoked 4-0. But
they're done. They got beat tonight, didn't they?
Did they? I don't even know. Tell me because I assume
they were down. And Giannis was out the rest of the game, ankle.
Yeah, and he's out. He's out of the Bucks. He got him.
Yeah. But anyway, where he go? He's going to Heat. I mean, we can get into that later.
Not tonight. Not doing that tonight. We got time for that. All right, my last call. I meant to do this last time, but since then, we've had some other news. But I just want to say R.I.P. John Thompson, R.I.P. Tom Seaver, and then earlier today, R.I.P. Lou Brock. 3 guys, huge in their sports, and to lose them kind of all in kind of 3 or 4 days, just really unfortunate. John Thompson, incredible, first African-American coach to win a national championship. Tom Seaver, incredible with the Mets. And Lou Brock, dynamic with the Cardinals. R.I.P. See y'all later. Rest in peace. Man, all right.
Hold on. Before we go, I want to say that the Bucks ended up coming back, tying it up, winning it in overtime without Giannis.
They don't need Giannis, right?
Nope.
To be discussed later. All right, y'all.
All right.
We'll see y'all for the South and for the West on the next time. Later.
Peace.